Yes, so my name is Toni, and I'm a visual artist, and I've been experimenting with different styles of painting and drawing and photography over the last couple of years, and yeah, that's basically what the basics would be.
Okay, excellent. Well, he's very humble, folks, because we're going to talk about some of the art behind you, but his work is amazing. And recently, we actually got to meet virtually first.
Yes.
About 2 weeks ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
But we were following each other on Instagram, but one of a mutual friend, Ren Thomas, big up Ren's art.
Yeah.
Had one of his amazing figuration drawing, live drawing sessions.
Yes.
And then you popped in. Well, first I should say this: I'm not an artist. I'm a photographer, and me and Ren are friends, and he invited me to this particular session. Yeah. And I took some screenshots and played around with it.
Yeah, and it was amazing photography, right? It was amazing. The way you made it look was more, I would say, more aesthetic than what I was actually seeing.
His check is in the mail, so I paid him to say that. But yeah, so then you popped into the room, and then I think Ren said your name. I was like, Toni? I actually wanted to do this a while back too. So that was a perfect opportunity for me to, after it was over, to send you a DM and see if you're interested, and thankfully you were.
Yeah.
And I bring up all of that just to say your work is so amazing that other artists appreciate your stuff. Or I go on your Instagram page and I see the comments and stuff. Yeah. So folks, that was a very humble introduction. Since there's some stuff behind you, or maybe we'll stick with that idea of community, and we were just off camera, we were talking about community. How important is someone like Ren building his community in the art world, especially Toronto, the black art visual artists? I think it's important. That's one of the reasons why I do this, but maybe your experiences with that.
Absolutely, and so with Ren and with figuration, I think that me attending those sessions would actually be a sign that was me actually looking for a community. I moved to Canada from Nigeria 3 years ago, and one of the things that I realized was that I wasn't really connecting to the creative community here, and I can't remember how I actually met Ren, but the sessions that he was putting together were actually a fantastic way to meet people. We would put our Instagram handles in the comment section, and everyone would follow each other, and since then it's just been a great way to meet other people and relate, and now I find that there's actually a very great community of artists within Toronto, and that's been helpful to also push me forward, to actually inspire me and see that there's actually a future for me in the art community here as well.
Well, I'm sure there is.
Yes.
But you mentioned something really interesting too. You said you just came here 3 years.
Yes.
Or you've been in Toronto 3 years. Was it only Toronto, or?
Yes, I've only been in Toronto. So I moved here from Nigeria straight to Toronto.
Straight to Toronto.
Yeah.
And do you have family here?
Yes. Now I have my brother who lives here in Toronto as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
That's nice. So I kind of always ask this, and again we mentioned it, the Nigerian water that is fulfilling all, I don't even know what the word is anymore. Again, you're the fifth Nigerian.
Yeah, as you said. Yeah.
Maybe sixth. I ask this to everyone who's from abroad, specifically Nigeria. What is your take on the art maybe seen there and then compared to here?
I think honestly, and I'll just give you some background to that. In Nigeria, before I moved here, we mentioned this off camera also, was that there's a great creative community there, and the creative energy is actually very incredible. You see people, because a lot of people have tapped into that creative energy and have seen that there's some freedom in expressing yourselves, in expressing themselves, and they've actually really tapped into that. And I remember that even as a creative in Nigeria, people were like, people would appreciate your art more if you moved to another country and all that. And I'm just like, I moved here and it's not the same. The creative energy there is unmatched. And I'm hoping, and I see that the community here is also is building up, and I think that there is a lot more potential to that. But like, as you said, there's a lot of creative energy there. I see people there moving here and I'm like, trust me, there's a great community of artists in Nigeria, and I mean, I welcome you to actually go to Nigeria and see for yourself.
I'll take all of y'all if I could.
Yeah.
And I don't know who I need to talk to, the ambassador or someone.
Yeah.
Give us a Groupon trip, all that.
Yeah.
Artists.
Yeah, you should. And one of the things that I would say also is that, and you would also be able to attest, especially seeing that this is probably your 5th Nigerian that you're interviewing, is that there's something that sets most Nigerians, and I don't think this is just even about Nigerians, I think it's also about other immigrants, because they come with some creative energy and they move here and it's kind of different, and people can we talked about things like people haven't seen that kind of thing before, so they're experiencing it for the first time, and they're like, wow, I haven't seen this before. It's like a breath of fresh air, right? Yeah, so that's why I think that the Nigerians here stand out, and I think that for many other communities and many other countries that I've seen as well, it's something I haven't seen in a while, and I'm just like, wow, and that makes them stand out.
Yeah, that's a great point. You're coming with fresh eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
That's a really true statement.
Yeah.
And I like that you were willing to join like a community.
Yes.
Because you don't want to be an artist and you're like stuck in your four walls. You do want to see what other people are doing. Yeah. I would imagine. Because that can influence and inspire you to do, to push your own work. So that's amazing.
Yes.
But yeah, that's I love your Instagram page. So I'm gonna kind of switch a little bit here. I love your Instagram page. You do like sketches and the digital work in a way that it's like, not to say that I'm supposed to be able, I can't tell the difference. And to me, that's amazing. Like, your work is very clean. I don't know if it's very like polished, refined, like maybe you and it's very interesting that you say that, because sometimes it's actually really nice to hear what other people say, because I'm just head down doing all the work that I do, and I mean, from time to time I have people who tell me about my work and they're like, oh, it's neat, it's like, it's amazing, but I'm just like, is that because you guys know me? Or but like now it's more, I feel like this is more of an objective perspective. And I would say that, to give you some background, I started out with photorealism in 2000. So I've always drawn all my life, but I feel like in 2011 or 2012 there was this kind of movement that started with photorealism and hyperrealism, and I really tapped into that because I just felt like it was a challenge for me to actually be able to draw things the way I saw them, and to actually be able to capture something the way it actually is. And so that drove me into photorealism, and photorealism is about neatness, it's about precision. And so I feel like over the years from 2012 to about 2015 or 16, I was disciplining myself in that area of art where it's like polished work, it has to be clean, it has to be no signs that there's any mistakes or whatever. So I would say that actually disciplined me and put me on that path. And 2015, I got into digital painting, and I carried that mindset into digital painting. That's good, yeah, so my digital paintings are, and I see a lot of other artists do different styles, but for me, it's just because I've trained my mind into doing something more polished, more clean, and photorealism as well, in the aspect of digital painting. But like, I feel like now,
I'm beginning to gravitate away from photorealism and more into, I would say, more introspective. Whatever, like whether it's neat, whether it's polished or whatever, I just want to actually be able to express myself and to see my own feelings in the painting. So now I'm trying to gravitate away from doing photorealism and into something that is more reflective of my own emotions, not necessarily about being neat or being precise, but more into what do I feel and how do I convey those feelings to other people.
Wow, that's deep. So now you opened up a can of worms. I kind of want to keep going with that. But then you said something interesting that I like. You said, I've been drawing my whole life. So maybe we'll take a few steps back and we'll come back to where you see your work going in the future. So is this something where your talent, when you were 3, someone gave you a crayon, your mom, father, brother, sister gave you a crayon and said, can you draw me that dog? And you were just like Picasso and just knocked it out at 3, or was it?
I'm sure many other artists would share the same feeling, but I don't remember. I just know I have been drawing for as long as I can remember. I know though about some of the influences that I had growing up. I had my brothers could draw, or they can still draw, but I don't think they're practicing. They're not practicing it as seriously as I am. And I also have a cousin who was into drawing comics and all that. So it was just like fascinating for me. And I remember this was when I was at least less than 10 years old.
Wow.
So I remember trying to replicate all the stuff that they were doing, and over the years it just stuck. And when I actually started to take art seriously and do it in a commercial way, I just realized that I could actually do it.
So this is all like self-taught, or
self-taught.
Family members
Self-taught.
Watching them?
Yeah, this is self-taught. This is me practicing different things. I saw people do different techniques, and I just found, how can I replicate that technique? How can I make my work look the same way as theirs? And I've gotten to know many artists and kind of study their art to see the techniques that they're pulling off and find how to replicate that in my own way. And all this has come together into what I call my own identity in art.
Yeah, you definitely have a distinguishable style. And wow, that I'm beyond impressed. So no schooling for this.
Nope.
This is just
Nope.
YouTube Academy.
Nope. Actually, the truth now is that like I'm going. I don't know how to, whether it's to say putting the cart before the horse. So now I'm actually trying to study art more formally to kind of, I think I would say, to add more credibility to my discipline. I go into different forums and I see people that are educated, and I actually just see that art is changing, and I want to be able to explore all those new changes in art through school. So I'm actually enrolled in Toronto School of Art for a couple of courses. So yeah, so this is me after learning everything myself, now seeing I want to explore some other aspects of art, like animation and all that.
Well, that's amazing. Well, it's from what I hear, it's a continuous learning journey for an artist.
Yes.
So that's good.
Yeah.
And you're gonna add more tools to the toolbox. Can't wait to see what happens when you get some of those lessons and tricks of the trade. So